All right, let's see what this piece of junk can do. This is going to be a very short video. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the channel, Den members. This is my AR-15 go-to setup as of this moment. It is an EOTech XPS-2 coupled with a Vortex 3X magnifier. Showing clear. This has shown up in the background of a few of the videos over the last couple months. It is an EOTech EXPS-2. Or at least that's what it looks like. In fact, it is simply a clone bought off eBay for a fraction of the cost of the $600 price tag of a true EOTech holographic sight. This only cost $50. As you can imagine, this pretty visually convincing EOTech clone is made in,
would you believe it, China?
Thanks, Aaron, I've got this. Please finish watching this video because you probably won't want to buy this. I want to talk very, very briefly about what makes a holographic sight so special. Whereas red dot optics typically cast an LED reticle or actual dot onto the glass of the optic, a holographic sight uses a combination of a laser and mirrors to create a holographic reticle that appears in front of the front glass. It is a very subtle but very real effect. One of the greatest benefits of a holographic sight over other optics is it virtually eliminates parallax no matter where you look through the holographic sight. As long as you have a sight picture on that holographic reticle, that is where your shot will impact. There's also other benefits, such as if something happens to the front glass, like it shatters or God forbid something penetrates it but doesn't break the back glass, you will still have a fully functioning holographic sight. There are plenty of other videos out there, especially by EOTech, that explain how holographic sights work, and I highly recommend you check that out if you want to understand the science behind it. That's not why we're here today. The major setback to Holosights and EOTechs in general is the cost. And a lot of people out there are willing to cut corners and try to get something just as good for a lot less money. So naturally, a lot of people will go on eBay looking for a used but still functioning EOTech. And then you will come across these clones. Visually, it is pretty convincing. It has the EOTech branding. It even says that it has a class 1 laser in it. All of the components seem to be there and match up with the true EOTech. I was very pleasantly surprised when I got this out of the box when it arrived from the seller on eBay. The outer housing is made of what I believe is aluminum. The quick disconnect mechanism works just as the EXPS-2 works. The brightness buttons and the night vision buttons, while similar, don't have as satisfying of a click. They actually make quite a bit of noise for, rubber. And I'll also say that they seem to stick a little bit. But for 50 bucks, I can live with something like a little bit of noise from the touch controls. Unfortunately, that's about where my impressed reactions end with this device. As soon as you turn on the clone, you realize this is by no means a holographic sight. You can immediately tell that this is an LED red dot based on two observations. First off, the picture quality of the reticle is very clear. In a Holosight, if you really pay attention, you can tell that the reticle is made up of a lot of points of light. The other way that you know that this is in fact just a red dot is you can look down into the optic and you can see the reticle just being displayed here, at which point you realize that's just being lit and reflected off of the glass. So at this point, it's what I thought it would be, a very chunky red dot. You don't have any of the benefits of the holographic technology. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I can just throw this on one of my more fun guns, one that I'm not going to be relying on in a tactical or defense situation, but I can still have a durable red dot. I mount this on one of my spare uppers and I start to bore sight it. At which point I discover something rather troubling. The windage and elevation turrets, while they work, have no clicks. It is just a smooth motion back and forth. On an EOTech, and like most optics, you have a very distinct and tactile click with each adjustment. Being a completely smooth motion, you have absolutely no idea how much you're adjusting this, and it is purely up to the guess, shoot, and adjust method. Not a very efficient methodology when zeroing a scope or an optic. It was at this point with this optic that my hopes severely diminished. Nevertheless, I bore sighted it and got it out to the range to test just how good or bad it would be on a rifle that shoots 5.56. Believe it or not, that is on.
You press the up arrow for 3 seconds on the left-hand side.
You can just barely make it out right there. That is absolutely useless. The problem is it keeps jumping around, which doesn't really make me feel great about the internals here. 6, 7 inches high, 6, 7 inches right. Do that. Do that. I really wish there were clicks. Didn't do a blessed thing.
Sometime later.
I've had enough of this piece of crap. Better. This thing has not been re-zeroed probably a couple thousand rounds. Not only is this a bare to zero, it won't even stay on zero for a full magazine. What a piece of crap. And there was no point even showing you the targets. They look like Swiss cheese. There are literally bullet holes all over the paper with absolutely no consistency. That thing's a piece of crap. I want to give in to my ADD very briefly to say thank you for watching this video to this point. If you're enjoying it, please consider hitting that like button. It really helps us out with the algorithm, especially against the gun channels here on YouTube. If you haven't become a den member by subscribing to the channel, please do so. We have a lot of gun content already on the channel, and we have a ton of awesome content coming. You are not gonna wanna miss what we have coming in the weeks and months ahead. Back to this thing. To say that I was left disappointed by this $50 knockoff clone when I already had pretty low expectations of it would not be an exaggeration. I am a subscriber to the school of thought that you get what you pay for. I really thought that I could get some use out of this. The fact that it could not hold zero for more than 5 or 6 rounds was absolutely astonishing. It's especially astonishing because I have cheaper optics than this. They're glorified airsoft optics, and they have held up amazingly even on some of the shotguns I've shot. And you know what? I'll be fair. There may be a problem with this device in particular. Let me know down in the comments if you've bought one of these and if you've been pleasantly surprised. So I think at this point it's safe to say that the Trash or Bargain series has found its first piece of certified trash. If you want my recommendation, don't go buying knockoff EOTech Holosights on eBay. For that matter, be very careful what you might be buying on eBay. Somebody might be peddling one of these knockoffs as the real deal. Just today I was looking this back up on eBay and I found somebody that was selling this for $150 and they were selling it as a used EOTech Holographic Sight. Be very, very careful buying used optics, used hardware on eBay. And you know, I can't even really give this a true pass for people that might want to use this for airsoft because of how dim the reticle is, especially if you're using it outside. I almost guarantee you can find something more functional for less cost for airsoft than these knockoff EOTechs. As you know on this channel, I don't really like to be too negative about a product when it comes to something that's trying to pass itself off as functional or a cheap alternative. If it's not, I'm gonna call it out because I care about our den members, our viewers. I don't want you wasting your hard-earned money on something that's just going to end up in the trash or, you know, a decorative fixture on your shelves. You all work way too hard to waste your money. Let me waste my money for you. Just an absolute disappointment. That's gonna do it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the Phantom Llama's Den. Go check us out on X and Instagram. Follow us on Twitch where we stream on Friday nights. As always, don't take life too seriously and make it a great day.